So you guys have been reading in class and you've just finished 1984 by George Orwell, which is a fantastic book talking about the totalitarian regime that Orwell writes about, where everyone is under surveillance by Big Brother. And these are a few books that I think you should check out that also fall under that idea of the oppression of both societal and government and people above you, and how our characters in these stories cope with and overcome that. So I hope you guys are really excited to check these books out. And I will have extra copies today after our discussion, so if you want to check one out before I leave, just let me know. The first book we're going to talk about today is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. She's actually an Oklahoma native from Tulsa, and when she wrote this book, she had to publish it under her initials because the publishers didn't think that they would buy her book if they thought it was written by a girl. But it's set kind of in the 1950s, with our main two groups being the Greasers and the Socias. And the Greasers they wear leather jackets, they have switchblades, they comb their hair back with lots of grease. And the Socias are the rich kids in town with the fancy cars and the nice clothes. And they have beef in town because, they're from different sides. It's a little bit like West Side Story with the Sharks versus the Jets, if you've ever seen or heard about that. The book focuses mostly on Ponyboy and his family and his found family with his gang. They're not really a gang, they're more like a family. And what it's like being 14 and looked down upon by a whole group of people in your town who will beat you up and say nasty things and spit at you just because of the way you look and where you live. So I think you should check out this book because it's a good story. It's one of those books that I think should be a classic because it's really a true story about teenage life and growing up, feeling outcast and different. So check out The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. The second book we're going to talk about today is Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, with the excellent tagline. We'll open it here. Fahrenheit 451, the temperature at which book paper catches fire and burns. True story about this title. Ray Bradbury actually called a fire department and asked them what temperature books burned at, and it's reported that the firefighter went and they burnt a book to figure out what temperature it took to get books to catch fire. It focuses on Guy Montag, who is a firefighter, but not in the way you would think. Our firefighters, they put out fires when they're there, but he actually starts fires. And in this world, books are illegal. And people who are caught with books, who are caught reading books, are arrested and their books are burned. And they call the firefighters in to take care of it. And he starts to question it. He starts to wonder, why are books bad? And then he reads one. And then he can't stop. And, it's a great book. It's a quick read. It's about 150 pages. It's one that you just can't put down and you're mad when there's not enough. So that is Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, with this iconic cover of a fireman wrapped in book pages. So check it out. The last book we're going to talk about, I'm sure you guys have heard of before, is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. It is about Katniss, who lives in Panem? Let's see. Yes, Panem, which is in the ruins of what was North America. And she steps up and takes the reaping to save her sister and goes on to become a revolution icon. She questions the authority of the Capitol. She questions why they're forced to fight for their lives as teenagers. And she questions why she has to live in squalor when the people close to the capital live these rich, fantastic lives with dyed skin and tattoos that move, like, and how unfair it really is. And Katniss is an independent spirit, and if you see yourself as someone who's willing to stand up for those that you love and take care of business in your own way, Katniss would be a great person that you would identify with. It's a trilogy of 3 books, and each book is better than the last, and that's The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And fun thing, all 3 of these books have actually been made into movies. So if you read the book, you can watch the movie, or if you want, you can check out the movie beforehand and then come and read the book to find it out. Fahrenheit 451 is from, I believe, the 60s. The Outsiders has young stars like Rob Lowe and Ralph Macchio from The Karate Kid. And then Hunger Games, which I'm sure you guys know about, has, I can't think of her name. But it's a good movie. So check out these 3 books.